and I went to NYU for educational theater, but I stayed here much longer since 1983.
Fell in love with
and fall
New
in
York
love
theater scene.
with this guy. And we got married for only 26 years.
Only. That is not only. That is such a long time. So you guys work this together.
To me, I think married to a non-Chinese people, I'm learning every single day. And I think we're both each other's teacher and student. So we learned it, and we write the script together, make puppets together, direct together, perform together, travel together, teach together. It's really a wonderful American life, and I'm very happy to stay in America.
I was born and raised in Mexico City. My mom is an anthropologist. My father is an opera singer. So I always was like in between, and I fell in love. So I moved to New York, and I said to my mom, I'm sorry, I know that I'm supposed to be coming to New York with a scholarship to do whatever, but I came because I fell in love. I still, actually, we're still together. Actually, the last October 10th, I turned 30 years of moving to New York.
You have a bonus track on your album, Hecho para Amarte, which in English means I was made to love you. And that is a love letter to your wife. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I mean, to be honest, I think my wife was the reason why we came back to New York City. I don't think that without her, I think that I could be still in Mexico, like teaching in the university or doing something else. So when I met her, this was actually the first song that I wrote to her. And this song was actually, we danced to this song in our wedding. Because I think that's my most important collaboration. Musical theater is about collaboration, but doing musical theater with your wife, with your family, it's like the pinnacle of a collaboration, you know, being at home and being able to work with her. That's something, actually something the boundaries about husband and wife and composer, singer are very blurry. You never know who you are at the moment, no? But I'm very glad that I found her, and that's one of the reasons because I'm today in this country. And when we decided to stay in January back in 2016, a few weeks later, we realized that we were pregnant. So at the moment was, oh no, we have to go back to Mexico because we're pregnant. How are we gonna do to pay all the, and we decided to stay. And I mean, the health program was very, very, very nice with us. And we were able to have this now 4 years old, beautiful son born here in New York City. And we are a family of artists in New York City, like just struggling every day, but trying to make it.
So let's listen to a clip of Hecho para Amarte.
Tanto te busqué que yo pensé que eras ficción y me conformé con verte en mi imaginación. Hoy que estás frente a mí.
My immigration story was blind love. I met my husband online. They say love at first sight. I say love at first email.
How many years have you been here in the States?
It's been 12 years, happily married, 2 kids.
After living almost 20 years in America with no criminal record, Alejandro Juarez was deported to Mexico on August 3rd, 2018, under former President Donald Trump's zero tolerance policy, despite being married to a United States Marine and having 2 American-born children. When we spoke in 2018, you told me how helpless you felt after you'd been deported. What kept you going for these 3 years?
My kids and the fact that I felt like my husband deserved better. I mean, I know what I did was wrong, but it just wasn't fair. I mean, he deserved better.
And by the way, when you say your husband served the military, you served the military too. Because
Exactly.
if you didn't exist, your husband couldn't go to Iraq to represent the United States, to put his life on the line, because he would have nobody to watch his children and take care of his family. You gave him the ability to go serve. Without you, that wouldn't happen.
Exactly.
And I keep telling her, just keep working, keep contacting people, asking questions. And one day I'm going to come back from you and you're going to be in the plane with me. And that's what happened.
You know, it's really a blessing to find your soulmate. We met in New Mexico into a spiritual retreat. It's called Summer Solstice, and we met, but destiny wasn't there for us yet. Then 3 years passed by. We both got into different relationships, and 4 years later, we met in the desert again. Wow. And Cupid said, this is the time for you to meet.
Now you're ready.
We count our blessings. My parents came to this country for freedom. There was a lot of fear. My parents didn't want us to experience that violence in Colombia. And they came, such as hundreds and thousands of immigrants from South America, looking for a better future for their kids. And we were lucky enough to be legalized in this country. Now we're American citizens. And my father didn't want us to experience such crime and such violence in Latin America. I think the biggest virus that we have in Latin America is corruption. And until that virus continues, we will never see a better future. That's why I love America, and I love the idea that this is a country that provides hope.
I came from Buenos Aires, and in Buenos Aires is a friendly city to be a gay. I think in Latin America it's quite different, and also in Argentina, in other cities, it's not easy. My advice, especially with the marriage, with the gay marriage, is honest, to be honest with yourself. That's bring me to US, the love.
About 10 years ago, I was professional dancer in Tokyo, and I met him. Also, he's performing there, and he's one of the Blue Man Group's performer. And we met, and we loved, the performance each other, and got married. And after I got my son, we decided to move back to US. So it was when I was 30 years old.
I'm an immigrant. I was born in Mexico. We started dating, and she didn't know that I was not legal in this country. We were dating for some time. At one point, I became a resident alien, and she kind of was taken aback, saying, "You weren't born here?" I said, "No, I was born in Mexico." She said, "Okay, well, if I would have known that, we would not have been dating." So anyways, I joined the military. She told me, "Get your citizenship on your own. I won't help you with that because I don't want you to use me." And I did. I became a citizen on my own through the military, and we've been happily ever after.
Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.